Welcome, everyone. Today is October 31st, 2023. And it's the after show with Adam. There we go.
The gold red.
We have a question from the show that you just did.
So what did the medium say about Frank? Okay, so here's what she said. I tried to find this recording because I wanted to play a little bit of it, okay? So nobody knew this. Nobody knew this. I don't know how this psychic knew this, but here's what she said. She's talking to us. She was doing this on the phone for me, Denny Griffin, and Denny's wife. Denny and his wife set this up, and the lady did it as a favor for them. I can't even remember her name, the medium's name. But she said that Frank was telling her that he died twice.
And he did.
That day, he had a heart attack that morning, and they resuscitated him. And then later in the evening, after he went off the ventilator, he died. So,
but nobody knew that.
Nobody knew that. So how would that psychic have known, that medium known that? That, to me, I was just, everything else I was just like, you know. But that little fact, I went, that's kind of creepy. That's kind of creepy. Now, I mean, so could that have mean, that could mean more than one thing, though, saying that you died twice, you know. You know, as a performer, you can die on stage. You know.
True.
I have. I died on stage a few times, man. Everybody does. Everybody does. That's how you get better. You know, you have to. So, hello, everybody. It's nice to see you guys in here. Frank Ferraro.
Really, yeah. Good to see you.
Frank Ferraro. Introduction, like the Mob's Brady Bunch. I like it. I like that introduction, Red. That's a nice intro for you. Yeah, Anthony made that nice.
Anthony Diamartini.
Robert, how do you get a witch pregnant? You do her. God.
Okay.
Yeah, gosh.
So
we got some ghosts. You got a ghost story about the ghost of Richard Cain. And then we got some haunted places around Chicagoland that we're going to talk about, including Wrigley Field and Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, Resurrection Cemetery with Resurrection Mary.
Peabody's Tomb.
I'm sorry?
Peabody's Tomb.
Oh, yeah. Peabody's
And the famous Hancock Building.
Yeah.
We discussed once before, a couple of years before, we discussed this about a gal that went out the window and bounced all over.
Yes. We talked about it. Her body got torn up as she fell right down the side of the building.
She was a Playboy bunny.
Oh, man. Wow.
Great. Let's go into the vote. Let's start at Richard Cain. I'm not very much in the paranormal or into the paranormal,
okay,
that sort of thing. But when Richard Cain was murdered at Rosie's Sandwich Shop, the police put a chalk line all the way around his body, and then they removed the body. Well, Joey Lombardo, being the clown that he was, he wrote in chalk mark, "Here lies the ghost of Richard Cain." And he told everybody, do not step on that spot. I was thinking about it and saying, are these people superstitious?
Wow.
But it was, I don't know, it was a tongue-in-cheek thing for me.
Yeah.
Very much tongue-in-cheek. I mentioned to somebody on YouTube that Congress Hotel definitely haunted. That's what they say. They really do.
So was it a superstitious thing? Is that why he did it?
I think Joey did it because he was a clown.
Okay.
But it was definitely weird. I mean, I was a young man at the time, and I looked at it and said, "Okay, don't step on it." So he kind of walked around it. You don't step on it. It was a weird thing, very weird.
You know what a vampire's favorite Halloween candy is?
No.
A sucker. Why'd the skeleton run away? Because a dog was after his bones. No. What's the main topic at the cemetery? Plotting. All right, enough dad jokes. Guys, hit the like button if you guys are coming in here just now. Be sure to hit the like button and yeah.
Adam, do we have any pictures of Peabody? Do we want to tell that story? I'll tell the story.
Okay. We got pictures of Peabody. Yeah.
Way back when I lived in Cicero, it was the truth is saying hi to both of us, all of us. Hi, Red.
Hey, the truth. How are you doing? Terrific. Thank you. Okay. Hey.
You know who that is, don't you?
The truth?
Yes.
Who?
Mike.
Oh. Hey, Mike. All right. I didn't know it changed his name. The legend of Peabody's tomb. Yeah.
When I was a young man, I lived in Cicero, and we used to go out to Peabody's tomb.
Okay.
And the idea was they had monks guarding it. And they were huge monks. I mean, big monks. And 7 foot tall, we thought at the time. They seemed to be. But the idea was to go out and tag the tomb on your motorcycle. You had to ride up a hill and then tag the tomb and get away. If you didn't get away, and one of these big monks was always guarding it, we tried to do it at nighttime, which even made it more spooky. But they would grab you and yank you off your bike. They didn't care about the bike at all, your motorcycle.
Yeah.
And you had a choice: either kneel in a chapel and pray for forgiveness, or we called the police. So I didn't want the police called on me, so I knelt in the chapel. What I didn't know was it was a pebble floor. It hurt. It was on my knees. It hurt. So they were really cruel. But that place was haunted. It really was haunted. There were a lot of things that happened there that are inexplainable, totally inexplainable. And it has a history that I guess the original owner who built the thing, he was out on a fox hunt or something like that, horseback, and he was killed. And in that tomb, I don't know if it's still there today, but in that tomb, he's like in oil in a mausoleum.
Yeah.
And that's what they call Peabody's tomb. And go ahead.
Yeah, is something about his infant son too, right?
Yes.
With him, right?
Very strange. Very, very strange. Now it's been brought up by the Cook County Forest Reserve. It's not Cook County. It's another county, but it's Forest Reserve now.
So this is what I'm reading right now. Old man Peabody was rich. He owned a mansion in Oak Brook. When Mr. Peabody died, he was placed in a tomb on his property. The story says he was so rich he was buried with all kinds of gold, but that's not it. The legend is that he had his body parts pickled, put in jars, and placed in the tomb. There's another version that claims he was placed in a glass coffin so you could see him filled with
a glass coffin.
Filled with liquid to keep from decomposing. The urban myth continues Peabody gave his mansion and property to monks to care for when he died. They were also instructed to protect his remains and keep people away from the tomb. It is said if the monks caught someone on the grounds, usually curious teenagers, they would make them kneel on glass as a punishment, or pebbles, same thing, I guess. Weed. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty creepy, man. That's
it
pretty
creeped me out.
creepy.
It creeped me out. I wanted to see the actual inside the tomb.
Yeah. Yeah. So you didn't get in it?
No. Are you kidding? This guy grabbed me by the shoulder, picked me up off my motorcycle. That was it.
Wow. Wow.
They didn't slap you. They didn't, they weren't violent, but they were very physical.
Huh.
Very physical.
Wow. Peabody's tomb. Man. You know, another place that's super, super haunted.
I believe it was Franciscan monks.
They're what?
Franciscan monks. And that was not Oakbrook at the time. That was unincorporated. Now it's Oakbrook.
Gotcha. So, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. Are you aware of that?
It rings a bell.
Okay, so there's a very, very famous photograph that was taken in Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, and it's this old cemetery off of, where the heck is that off of? It's one of the highway. It's off the highway. It's in Midlothian. Okay, yeah. It's in Midlothian, and this is the famous picture that's taken in the cemetery there, and the woman is sitting on a headstone. Wow. Now, these headstones are super old, man, in this cemetery. And I was 22 or 23 years old. I could look and check because I remember the date exactly.
They're from the 1800s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'd have to look and see the exact year, 23 or 24. But it turned out that we had a Friday the 13th.
My favorite day.
In October, Friday the 13th. And that night was a full moon. It was like only happens every 70 years or something that we have that date happen like that with a full moon. And a girl I was dating at the time, I think it was her birthday that day, and said, I want to go to the cemetery for my birthday. And so we had to sneak into the cemetery. Oh, because you're not allowed in there. It's closed after I don't even know if that place is open to the public, period. But we had to sneak in there. Oh, man. Talk about creepy. We didn't see anything. We didn't get any, pictures, whatnot, that just showed up anything crazy. But, man, it was creepy. Let's just leave it at that. Creepy. But that's Bachelor's Grove. Look at that picture, man. That woman sitting there. It's just uncanny, Just go, what? So, hello, Adam and Red, the rest of the mob vlog. Hey, Ryan Brown, it's nice to see you today. I hope that you're having a good, happy, and joyous Halloween. My Chris Fish, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yes. Nice to see you.
Sean Pender says there's no fence. You just walk in.
Just walk in, right? So it's just, maybe that's what the deal is. I know you're not allowed in there, though. We had to park down the street on the highway and then walk down the pathway to get to it. They say as far as 1950, stories have been circulated about paranormal activity taking place in Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in the immediate area. After well over 5 decades, these tales have now become common knowledge among the local communities. It's really creepy. It's off of wow, see, they're showing me a map now. Bachelor's Grove map. Map was updated. Yeah, all right. So anyway, so
there's another famous haunting place.
On
Germantown Church Road, where the Grimes sisters' bodies were found. And they claimed there was always a car going by. And many people have gone out there with cameras, term cameras, just to see it. Several times it's been caught on film. I haven't been able to find it on the internet. Um, Mark Wicks is still trying to find out who killed the Grimes sisters. And actually, Face of the Forgotten went out there and he was looking for energy around the place, but they tore it all up. It wasn't like the original scene. It was a very remote spot at one time, and now it's paved. It looks a whole lot different.
Huh.
But that's another one.
Show me the money! Everybody else, show me the money!
So I sold tickets for the tour. That's what happens on the phone when
That's, Tony Johnson's got it. German Church Road, Willow Springs.
yeah. Ooh, creepy.
Oh yeah.
So
another,
there's
another one
yeah.
we have is at the Hancock building,
Uh-huh.
John Hancock building. There was a Playboy bunny, and she went out the window. What floor was that? The
95th. Wasn't it the 95th floor? Was
90, no,
it was
95th.
it was up at the top, I thought, wasn't it?
Well, 95th is, yeah, it could have been 95 because 96 was top of the cock, and they
Yeah.
closed. But
That number sticks in my mind for some reason when we talked about it, but I could be mistaken.
I remember we discussed it with what's his name,
Don.
Berlin, and now there's stories of people that live there that see her going by on her way down, bouncing off the sides. The building was tapered. It was like an obelisk. It just went like that. And there was nothing left of her by the time she hit the sidewalk. She just kept bouncing off the side of the building. But that's another haunted thing in Chicago that a lot of people really get emotional over it. They really do. They don't want to live on that side of the building. That side of the building faces Rush Street.
Sure. Yeah. So, Resurrection Mary. You know about this? Resurrection Cemetery?
Oh, yeah.
So, here's the entryway to Resurrection Cemetery. And there's a road that goes along Resurrection Cemetery. And the story is that this lady in white, the guys see her and she hitchhikes. She's out there hitchhiking. And there have been reports that guys have picked her up. She's gotten in the car. They feel a sense of really cold off of her. And they drive down to let's go to the bar down the street. And when they get there, look over and she's vanished out of the car.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember hearing that story from my dad.
I saw that. That'd definitely make me a believer.
Yeah. If I saw something like that, oh my gosh. What year did the bunny hop?
Out of Hancock.
I'd
have to look it up. I think it was, I'm not really sure, but it was in the 70s. Right. Hit that like button, folks. Please. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, be sure to smash the like button, guys. Ryan Brown, there's this Adam, this is wild. There used to be an old tuberculosis hospital in the small town I lived in the state of Massachusetts. Was abandoned for many years. Evidently, they didn't clean it out entirely. Dude, any old hospital like that, that's got to be creepier than hell, man, going through a place like that.
Yeah, people die in hospitals.
That's a lot of people do. A lot of people, especially something like that, Archer Road. She got killed coming from Willowbrook Ballroom. There you go. And that's why she's wearing the white gown.
Right.
So, did you remember when I was born in Holy Cross Hospital and I thought you had Holy Cross Cemetery? Yeah, I remember that. I mean, Holy Cross Cemetery was in Calumet City. That's why I put those two together. One night, some kids broke in and took a brain in a jar and thought it was a good idea to bring it to school. The feds got involved. No.
Yes.
Wow. One girl I knew in passing was a Satanist. Man, yeah, I would.
The only Satanist there's two that I've known or met, known one, and that was Sam DiStefano. He was definitely a Satanist. And the other one was Ken Hansen. He claimed to be a witch,
Wow.
and he was weird, definitely weird. Things happen.
So over at that cemetery, Bachelor's Grove, there's all kinds of stories about a blue light caretaker, a disappearing house. You see this house, and as you walk towards it, it keeps vanishing. Jacqueline Moore, it's nice to see you too. The farmer and the horse, Madonna of Bachelor's Grove. That's the one sitting on the phantom dog. So even have ghost animals out there. So yeah, it's pretty pretty crazy. Isn't there a monument in one of the cemeteries in Chicago you're supposed to try and look at in the eyes of the figure on it? Yeah, I've never heard of monument and you're supposed to look in the eyes. What happens when you look in the eyes of it?
I don't know.
Something happens, I guess, right?
That the gal that the Playboy Bunny, allegedly she was nude. I don't know. I didn't see the body, but allegedly she didn't have any clothes on. It's a very weird thing. When it happened, it was very weird.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tell us.
Kissy Cat. I was walking and listening. Adam dated more than I did. Was he a player? What? What are you talking about, Kissy Cat? Was I a player? No, I wouldn't say I was a player. I mean, I got my fair share, and I got Red's fair share, and I got a few other people. Just kidding. No, no. I only had a couple of girlfriends. That's it.
You weren't a rooster block for me. You weren't around.
Yeah. The Al Capone's hideout steakhouse in Elgin is haunted. There's YouTube videos of it. Yes. Really? The Al Capone hideout steakhouse is haunted? That's pretty cool, Sean. I'm going to have to look that one up and do a little research into that.
Says, you took a date to the cemetery.
What's wrong with that? No. Come on. What's the strangest place you've made whoopee? You know what I mean?
That was a big thing back in the day, was go to the cemetery because there's nobody around. It's quiet. It's private.
Do you know that question was asked on a television show? Where is the strangest place that you've made whoopee? Woman was asked that on a television game show, and do you know what her answer was? In the butt. In the butt. Yes, that's the strangest place that she made whoopee. Adam was a lady butcher back in the day. Thanks a lot. In the butt, Bob. There you go. Luminous Grin knew it. It was in the butt. That's what she said. In the butt. Yeah. In the butt, Bob. Oh, man. Mile High Club, Craig. Yeah. No, I am too small. I mean, sorry.
You're not going to fit inside there.
The lavatories are too small for me to, join that club. That's not going to happen. Why not go to the restaurant named after you? What? I don't know where that came from. Okay. Ryan Brown. The girl I knew was living with her grandmother at the time. FBI agents actually got a warrant to search for additional evidence. Small world, I actually worked with a cousin of that Satanist girl.
The one that took the brain.
The one that took the brain, yeah, out of the hospital. That's crazy. You know what's sitting in Chicago? In some basement, in somebody's shelf in the basement? John Wayne Gacy's brain.
Oh, no. Really?
Yes. The psychologist or something that worked on She was given his brain, and she's got it in a jar in her basement that Zach Bagans out here tried to buy it to put in his museum. So she didn't sell it to him, but yeah, that's what they were going. The truth. Okay, childhood homes and other hideouts likely torn down. Where would you haunt? You're stuck here. Where would you haunt? Oh, why not? Why not go to the restaurant named after you, Adam? In order for that last comment to make sense, you have to scroll up and read all my comments, starting with "Think about it, Adam." Sorry. Okay, think about it, Adam. You're Al Capone. Oh, you're stuck here. Where would you haunt? Childhood home and other hideouts likely torn down. Why not go to the restaurant named after? Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Why? Yeah, why not? I mean, usually ghosts haunt where the best time or the worst time of their lives, but there could be some gray areas in between. Red, I just finished reading The Sinatra Club by Sal Pelosi. It's good. Anyway, updates when your next book is coming out. Adam, you look healthy. Oh, thank you very much, Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, thank you for the super sticker too. Thank you very much.
Any updates on your book, Red?
Working on it. Working on it.
Craig, I'm 6'3". I'm 6'3", Adam. I have fitted many times. Don't let perceived lack of room. Oh, you fitted many times. You're 6'3" in the lavatory. Don't let lack of room deter you, mate. A real knee trembler for sure. Jesus.
The only thing I can think about with the lavatory on a plane.
Yeah.
Is,
how do we go from ghosts to doing it in the lavatory?
When Tommy Boy was trying to change clothes in that, there just wasn't enough room.
Gosh. They have a torture museum in Chicago. Weird. Wow, we got an H.H. Holmes in Chicago too.
Oh yeah,
talking about torture stuff in Chicago. That H.H. Holmes was something else, man. Torture House of Chicago. That guy.
Adam, speaking of Gacy, did you get a chance to look up the Ripper Crew? Robin
Gecht?
Yes.
Actually worked for Gacy's company, PDM. Talk about a bunch of scary guys. No, I have not looked up the Ripper Crew. I've heard, I think we talked about this. I've heard there were a couple of the PDM guys that were in on that with him, with John Wayne Gacy, that weren't ever charged or anything, but they did some pretty heinous stuff too.
Wow.
So I remember reading that or hearing that somewhere. Julie M., there's an old tuberculosis sanatorium that had a body chute that was a cement slope. They would dump the people down so the other patients didn't have to see all of the dead patients.
Right.
Oh, creepy, man.
Very. Now
creepy.
that place could be haunted. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Oh, no. It's no, thank you. Rod, tell us about the ladies you dated and the famous people you met.
Oh, wow. Dated. Dating's a new term. That means slept with.
Oh, that's right. Red's from the 60s and 70s. Free love, man. Yeah. Before AIDS was going around. Yeah.
Before anything was going around that you couldn't cure with a shot of penicillin. Famous people I met, a lot of them. Kissy Cat. Right down the street from me, I can't pronounce his name correctly, but he played Cochise. And he was married to I'm trying to think of her name too. She was in I Dream of Jeannie. I'm trying to think of her name, but she used to come down and eat by me all the time, and we'd sit and talk. And there was who else? Goldie Hawn. Goldie Hawn was in Chicago doing a movie called Wildcats or something like that. And it was really in the summertime and it was very hot. And they were asking for extras on TV, but you had to wear winter coats and pretend it was winter.
Oh my God.
Movie. And it was something else. It was filmed out at Lane Tech. And she used to stop by. I used to see her quite often. There were a lot of celebrities I met.
Barbara Eden.
That's who it was, Barbara Eden.
Barbara Eden.
She was married to in Serno. What was his name? He played Cochise back in the Michael and Serno, I believe his name was.
Okay. Yeah, and Sarah.
Right, and
Michael
Sarah.
and Sarah. Yeah, Tony Johnson's got it.
But there was a lot of people. Did I meet Mr. T? No. I saw him get robbed, but I didn't meet him.
I remember that story that Mr.
Oh,
T was
man.
robbed.
We saw a lot of celebrities, and even on Rush Street, and out of the Valley View Yak. I mean, there was a lot of them.
Oh. So off topic. Did I tell you what's going to happen in February?
No,
David Copperfield's going to make the moon disappear.
that's going to be interesting.
David's going to make the moon disappear. Yeah, it's funny. Anyway. Yeah, that was kind of off topic, but
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Holman, sorry for your loss, buddy. Saw on Facebook that you lost a friend. I think that was you, Holman, that I saw.
I'm sorry.
Lost a buddy. So sorry to see that. My condolences. If I'm right, if it was you, Holman, that just had that happen. Brian Magnifici, Ravens Grin in Mount Carroll, Illinois is pretty cool, open year round. Has a trap door dropped from the 4th floor to the basement where it had been a morgue years ago. Ooh, that's interesting.
These are ghoulish places to go.
Yeah. Creepy. In Calumet City, there was the old Shrum house. The Shrum family had a pickle factory.
That name rings a bell, the Shrum family.
They were a big deal, man, because there was even a school down the street named after them, after their family. They donated a bunch of money and land, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, we went into the old Shrum house, and that was supposedly haunted. It was freaky, man. Old box springs and whatnot were laying around up there. I remember that.
Yes, you can. Just for you and everybody else, you asked. I mentioned all the different places I lived at. When I left Chicago, I went to Sarasota. I left from Sarasota, I went to Palm Beach, and I left Palm Beach and I moved up here. But I moved around, and in Chicago, I moved around a lot. I mean, they had a joke because every time I'd ride with somebody in the car or something, I'd say, "Oh, I used to live over there." And by the time I got through with the drive, somebody said, "Did you ever stay in one spot very long?"
Yeah.
And I moved around quite a bit.
Huh.
Did I keep buying houses? Yes, I kept buying houses. I bought more houses than anybody I know. And sometimes I just kept them empty just to have another house. That's it. It was a real estate investment.
You didn't rent them out?
No. Never wanted to be bothered with. I had that one apartment building on Carmen, and I never wanted to be bothered with tenants after that. Ever. I rented one on Wall Street, one apartment on Wall Street, and it was a nightmare. It really was. Tenant was really wacko. He did more damage to the place that.
Renters ruin, yeah. Renters are a pain, man. Renters are a pain. Dude, we've had renters before. Just what a pain, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I did live in South Chicago Heights when I lived in Chicago. I lived right across the street, was on State Street, and I lived right across the street from the police department. The windows were all painted black.
Hmm. So why don't skeletons like candy on Halloween?
I
They don't have the stomach for it.
uh, mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
Puppy bag of donuts. Renting out is a tough way to make a buck. It is.
Yeah, it is. Unless you have place that I mean it's just a walls, paint, cheap carpeting, and you don't mind that you're gonna have to replace that stuff every few years because that's what
my problem. I always wanted to make them nice enough for me to live in. They'd move into them and destroy them.
Man, renters do not treat property like owners treat their property. They don't.
No.
They don't give a crap. So all right. Adam. Actually, Zach Bagans asked for permission to film an episode of Ghost Adventures, but was told flat out no. They're slowly turning the land into affordable housing.
Wow. Yeah, that'll be like Poltergeist. You're going to be buried on something.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
You watched the new Poltergeist?
Yes.
The one that was made, I think it was in 2017.
When you told me about it, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. They updated. It was the same story, but they updated it.
And I was teasing Adam for you folks. I was teasing Adam. I told him he said I was wrong, and I said the little girl played in 3 episodes.
Right.
And he said, "Oh no, she only played in the first one." I said no. And so he looked it up on the internet. She sure enough did.
Yeah, she died of something like after that third one. It was real creepy too, that she passed away right after that last Poltergeist.
Very good series of movies. Had me on my edge.
Yeah. Keith Helton, skeleton walks into a bar, says, "Give me a beer and a mop."
Okay.
Beer and a mop.
Think ahead.
Oh man. So, what's a baby ghost's favorite game to play on Halloween? Peekaboo.
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you like to go trick or treating with Dracula?
I wouldn't go anywhere with Dracula.
No. Why didn't anyone want to go trick or treating with Dracula? He's a pain in the neck.
Okay.
Oh man. Worldwide, it is the same for landlords, and although different races and a world away, the colored folks as a race cannot function as normal neighbors do. What? Worldwide, the same for landlords, and although different races and a world away, the colored folks as a race cannot function.
Different cultures.
Different cultures. I mean, that's everywhere you go. I mean, it doesn't matter what country you go to. You're going to have.
I don't know. I used to watch them at Cabrini Green when they'd be making barbecue ribs in the bathtub, and they're up on the 10th floor.
No, we rented out. My parents had an apartment building in Calumet City. Actually, technically, it was in Burnham, Illinois, and it was on the other side of the street to Burnham. And it was a 4 flat, 4 units. And I remember we rented out to an Asian couple, and then they sub-rented one of the rooms to somebody. And we heard from the other tenants, no, there's another family going. They were renting one of the rooms to another family, and they were using the bathroom to cook in, and they were cooking in the bathtub. And there were whatever deep fryers, there was grease all over the walls, dude, when they moved out. It was just horrific. No, it was not the bathroom. It was in a closet they were cooking. Dude, they could have started the place on fire, man. But very, I don't know.
They don't care. They don't own it.
I don't care. That's how it goes. So I thought Ray Rayner and his corny jokes died several years ago. Thanks, Dave. No, man, I'm keeping that alive.
Dave, you're right.
Alive. Yeah.
I love your comments, buddy. Thanks for showing up. Hit that like button, folks. Yes, Ryan Brown.
Yes,
Another
Ryan
one.
Brown. Weren't Cabrini Greens the setting for the horror movie Candyman? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That was a creepy movie. What's the scariest movie you've ever seen, Red, that disturbed you the most after you watched it?
The Exorcist.
Really? That did it for you, huh?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, when that bed started going up, and the Christ,
Yeah.
that did it for me. And when the head turned around, that was enough.
Yeah. I recently watched that movie. It was the Pope's Exorcist is the name of it, with Russell Crowe plays the Exorcist. That was a good movie. That was twisted. That was good. I really enjoyed that one. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That didn't bother me.
No.
I'll tell you one that did though. Pet Cemetery. Pet Cemetery. That did it for me.
So you know what screwed me up as a kid? Sleepaway Camp. That was the name of the movie. Dude, that movie freaked me. I couldn't go to the bathroom in outhouses, dude, after I watched that movie. I couldn't. I got sent to summer camp and I could not use the outhouse, man. I was just, no way. The movie Strangers gave me nightmares. Strangers, really? I've never seen that. Check that out.
I Spit on Your Grave, 1978, was banned in some theaters. Yeah, it was, but it wasn't that bad.
I Spit on Your Grave. I've never watched that one. Is that good? Night of the Living Dead was good. Well, my mom was telling me
Night of the Living Dead was something else.
Creature from the Black Lagoon or something. She's our Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon, was that the name of it?
Yes.
It had like a blob in it or something. That was a movie that, okay. So there was a series of Creep Show. They were called Creep Show.
Remember when they swam out to the raft?
They go out on the raft and they had blobs around. Oh man, that was crazy. I remember that was the one I was just thinking of. Oh man, that screwed me up. And wasn't it the one with Ted Danson? Wasn't Ted Danson the one where she buried him on the beach and the tide comes up or something on him? Yeah. Oh, and then he comes back with all the seaweed on him, and
then Leslie Nelson got it. They put him out there.
Yeah, right.
Hold your breath.
The Last House on the Left did it for me back in the day. I don't think I've watched that movie.
It's an old movie, but it's a good one.
That's got some pretty rough scenes in it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very rough.
Yeah. Blue Lagoon was topless Brooke Shields, Polly Walnuts. You guys need some spooky music in the background. Yeah, right. Heart of Chicago was Ashland and Western. East there was Pilsen.
Oh, yeah.
Creature from the Blue Lagoon. Yeah, that was it with Brooke Shields. Got to be it. My mom was saying it really bothered her, though. She was talking about that the other day.
It bothered me, too.
Where's my cake? Creep Show. Where's my cake? Oh, man. The other one that was a Nightmare. Hold on. Nightmare on Elm Street always bothered me. No. Nightmare on Elm Street was for me, I like that movie. I don't know why I like that so much, but I liked Nightmare on Elm Street.
All the Freddy Krueger movies bothered me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You know which ones I never got into was Friday the 13th, the Jason. I just didn't get into those.
I'll tell you what, there were some shock things in there, though.
Yeah.
One of the shock things that killed me was one of the kids would always be laying in bed. They think they'd be okay, and all of a sudden a knife would come from the bottom of the bed.
Yeah.
But
Crazy.
Poltergeist got me too.
Holman? You said Gremlins was the one that got you as a kid? Gremlins was a fun movie.
There was comedy, a lot of
Yeah.
comedy.
Remember Mrs. What was her name? Dieterson, Ditson, Dingler, the one who got on the chairlift and is up the stairs. What was her name? Mrs. Dingler. I can't remember. I gotta look that up. Who was the lady in the chairlift? Somebody on the channel is gonna type it in. I don't need to look it up.
Yeah, I thought the creature from the Black Lagoon.
The creature from the Black Lagoon. It was something Black Lagoon with Uncle Gil. Blue Lagoon was a horny teen movie, no horror. Okay, so it wasn't Blue Lagoon, it was Black Lagoon then.
Right.
Creature from Black Lagoon. Okay. Nightmare on Elm Street had an endless supply of one-liners. It became funny. Yeah, like there was some funny stuff in that. I recall. No, it wasn't too rough. Okay, so
Baby Jane Hudson.
To Kill a Mockingbird and Baby Jane. To Kill a Mockingbird, wasn't that black and white movie?
Yes. But Baby Jane, whatever happened to Baby Jane, that was it was a scary thing. It was crazy. Insanity. People were
Wasn't Gremlins a Christmas movie?
Kind of. It was a holiday movie where he said, "Now don't give him any water, don't give him any food after dark," and he gave him all the instructions. And then the guy just gave him everything.
Yeah, Mrs. Deagle. That was it. Chained when Vincent D. Onofrio, Full Metal Jacket was it for me. For Law and Order to a Serial Killer, he was brutal. Chained with Vincent. I gotta look that one up. I've never seen that.
Jaws was scary.
Oh, Jaws is scary, man.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
that was scary. You know what part made that thing so damn scary? And it was an accident. So they were filming that on the East Coast in some bay, and it was salt water in that bay that they were filming in. And their animatronic shark, the salt kept like corroding the electronics and stuff on it. So they were having problems with making it work right. So instead of showing the shark up front that they wanted to, they used different things like showing the barrels that were all in the ropes, going underwater, getting pulled down, and they used different ways to show the shark. So you didn't see it until like near the end of the movie. You just the shark was this thing that was there. You knew it was there, but that was a scary ass movie, man. Scarier than any of the ones today. The Meg and all that. Jaws was it.
There was one that was filmed in New Orleans, and I think it was the name of it was Inside the Garden of Good and Evil, and it was at the very end, the ghost came out, the spirit came out, and it gave the guy a heart attack, and it upset me so much that I actually looked it up on the internet. It was based on a book. And although it took place in Savannah, Georgia, it was like really, really crazy. Savannah, Georgia.
Wow.
Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, I believe it was, or Midnight in the Garden of Goo, something like that.
Yeah.
What do they call her? She makes up potions and everything, but she was she was from Jamaica or something like that, from Haiti, something like that. And she communicated with the dead. It was kind of hokey, but at the very end, it was kind of scary when he actually died. His ghost came back. The young man that he killed came back and actually killed him.
Wow.
When he saw him, he had a heart attack and fell on the floor and died.
Oh,
He's going. So, and then she came by and said, John Cusack played in that movie.
Uh-huh.
And the older woman came by and says, now he's at rest. Now the spirit's at rest. And I thought about that and said, whoa.
Huh.
There's been so many things that were out to shock you. And obviously, from what we just saw, they did shock us.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about. So that's what it's all about. But Jaws is supposed to be in Jersey, but they filmed in the Gulf.
Right
Really?
right by me. They filmed it right by me here.
Interesting. When you watch, all the boats have a Mississippi registration. Interesting. Thank you for that. All right, Red. Well, it's time for me to go ghost hunting. So it's been fun today. You have a great rest of your Halloween, and everybody else have a great rest of your Halloween. It's been fun, Red. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, same here, Adam. Let's do another one next Wednesday.
All right. Over the next few weeks, guys, we'll be dropping back in and pay attention to you. Click the little bell, get the notifications, so when we put up thumbnails, it may not be on Wednesdays because I'm going to have to work things around my tour schedule. But you guys, we will see you soon, and we'll try and get back on a regular basis here. So, Red, it's been fun, man.
Thank you all for stopping by, and thank you, Adam. I appreciate it, Adam.
Hey, not a problem. We will see you guys all next time.
The combination of the videotapes and Ouimette's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweiz, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.